Hi, I'm Buffy, and I talk about movies. And Merry Christmas, everyone! And it is a Merry Christmas because we're in a good movie season right now. I mean, January is coming up, so we're sure to get some stinkers in a bit. But for now, we've got some amazing movies to talk about, one of which is called No Other Choice, directed by my favorite director working right now, and maybe my favorite director of all time, Park Chan-wook. He is responsible for some absolutely phenomenal cinema, including Oldboy, The Handmaiden, Thirst, Joint Security Area, and most recently, Decision to Leave, to name a few of my favorites. The man is a legend, a hero, a genius, and I might be a tiny bit in love with him. Oldboy is one of my favorite movies of all time, and the reason I really want to be able to speak Korean at some point in my future, maybe, hopefully. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop gushing about this man because otherwise I'll just never get to discussing the movie. Okay, so No Other Choice is directed by the love of my life and stars the other love of my life, Lee Byung-hun, best known most recently for Squid Game, but if you haven't seen I Saw the Devil, you definitely should. It also stars Son Ye-jin, Park Hee-sun, Lee Sung-min, and Yeom Hee-ran. And I'm not going to spoil literally anything about the film, and I'll give you the barest of the plot. It's basically a film about a man losing his job. I would advise you not to look anything else about the film up and just going blind. Trust me, it's worth it. I have so many things I want to talk about when it comes to this movie, but I don't want to give anything away. Just so you know, this film is like a Christmas gift that keeps on giving. Hey, do you like to get surface level entertainment and linear storytelling that keeps you intrigued and laughing the whole time? Watch No Other Choice. Do you watch films for interesting and beautiful visuals, dynamic shots, and intentional framing? Watch No Other Choice. Do you like thought-provoking filmmaking that result in self-reflection? Definitely watch No Other Choice. And by the way, all of Park Chan-wook's films. And finally, do you like movies that comment on the state of the world? And I know I'm generalizing, but I'm trying to keep it vague here. Then watch No Other Choice. This is a movie that has it all. If you love your movies insanely entertaining, hilarious, relatable, and thought-provoking, there's no other choice than No Other Choice. Oh my god, I'm such a great, talented movie reviewer. Jesus. I might be hyping this film up too much, but I am so impressed with it, and I love this director so much. And I've already seen this movie twice in the theaters with two different groups of friends with wildly different tastes, and they were all incredibly impressed and happy with their experience. Okay, now let's talk about some specifics. First of all, cinematography, okay? It's so masterfully done. Every shot is meaningful and well thought out. The way the camera moves and when it chooses to stay static, everything has a purpose. It seems as though Park Chan-wook had the final cut of the film fully ready in his head and knew exactly which shot was meant to elicit which emotion in the audience. I understand that that's probably true to a certain extent with all directors dedicated to their craft, but Park Chan-wook's films seem like he doesn't have to cut anything out at all. Like he knows what every second of the film will look like in the end, even before he starts filming. When people say that film is a visual medium, they should accompany that statement with this movie. Even the simplest things like a character looking at a tablet is presented in the most interesting way imaginable. There are huge sweeping shots of landscapes, huge sweeping shots that just go between characters, static shots for comedic effect, and static shots to hit the audience with emotional impact. Everything has a purpose, everything is by design, and no second is pointless or wasted. Now, me gushing about this visual mastery may make you think that you might be taken out of the immersion just by focusing on it. Absolutely not. These techniques are used to enhance the film watching experience rather than hinder it, like in Michael Bay movies or something. These techniques are used to help with the immersion, with emotional impact, and delivering the message of the film. I couldn't help but be in awe of the presentation, but I never felt as though it was distracting me from experiencing the story. The movie is absolutely hilarious. I was laughing pretty much the entire time during my first and my second watch. The humor is dark and absurd, and the film was a blast to watch. The acting was absolutely spectacular. Even the children. This is my theory. Cast child actors are the measure of the director's greatness. If children are good in a film, you know the director has got to be amazing. Lee Byung-hun is so unimaginably phenomenal in this film. He is relatable, sympathetic, hilarious. He's just amazing. The way he portrays this, I guess let's call him a morally gray character, is so believable, and he just never loses the audience. The majority of this film's emotional pull just stands on Lee Byung-hun's shoulders, and he keeps you hooked the entire time. He should get the Best Actor nomination, in my opinion. He deserves it so very much. He probably won't though, and fuck the Academy for that. But to me, his is the best acting I've seen all year. What an amazing performance. Son Ye-jin as his wife was also fantastic. She was the grounded presence, the voice of reason of the film. She did a beautiful job in the film, and her comedic acting and timing was also spectacular. The rest of the cast did equally great, but I'm going to shout out Yeom Hee-ran especially. She was great in When Life Gives You Tangerines, which I've seen 5 episodes of and still haven't finished. She was so different in that show. In No Other Choice, she was so delightfully unhinged and hilarious. I absolutely loved her. She did an amazing job. The movie explores, of course, capitalism, social problems, and how automation affects people. I love the fact that we can see plants pretty much in every shot of the film, which, without going into details of the story, is a wonderful decision. I also love how the movie explores masculinity, what it is to be a man in a family, right? How men think of it and what men think women want from them, when in reality that's just not the case. The script is so well crafted and meaningful, and again funny. The way certain information is kept from the audience for most of the film and then distributed or displayed in the most effective way possible, it was just so intentional, so well thought out. Park Chan-wook's films use reincorporation of the dialogue so incredibly well. I think his films are the best when it comes to reincorporation or the characters coming full circle. If you've seen his films, you probably understand what I'm talking about. Seeing the story unfold, seeing where the main character ends up, and how the last scene echoes and calls back to the beginning of the film is so impactful. I imagine the ending of the film might keep some people unsatisfied, but I think that's by design, and that's what keeps you thinking about it well after the movie is over. And I have to talk about the beginning and the end credit scenes of the film. When the movie started, I think the whole theater was already engaged from the moment of the first notes of the classical score sounded off. And I have to say, after the film was over, during both screenings, people stayed pretty much till the very end of the credits. They stayed seated and just watching in awe. It's just such an immersive experience that you keep wanting more. I also want to mention that I love the attention to like small little details as well. For example, in the first scene of the film, you hear classical music playing over it, right? You can hear a cello part where the player just plucks the strings. I mean, you can understand what the player is doing in the score. And then it turns out it's the main character's daughter that's practicing her cello playing upstairs. She's the one plucking the strings, but it fits so well with the score. It's so well incorporated. Those notes were just presented as a part of the score. It's unexpected and seems like not a very big deal, but it's details like that that make me appreciate how much thought went into every decision made for this film. Like, I speak literally 5 sentences in Korean in total, and even I was able to realize that there was a lot of thought put into the company name, for example. It's written on a tall building, so the main character is looking at this building, and when his point of view is shown, he doesn't see the whole name of the company, he only sees a part of it, and that part means problem in English. So the character is looking at this company like it's a problem he should find a solution to, trying to keep it vague again, but I mean, you understand, right? I hope I'm not mistaken here. Again, I do not speak Korean at all, but I think it was intentional, and I love that so much. I can only imagine how much my watching experience would be enhanced if I actually spoke Korean. God, okay, I believe I said everything I could without talking about the story of the film, without spoiling anything. I think everyone should watch it. Take your friends, take your siblings, take your parents, take your partners, hell, take your dogs, they'll like it too. I think this is Park Chan-wook's most accessible film and would make a great introduction to his filmmaking. So if you have friends who have never seen his other movies, take them to this film and tell them that it gets weirder in other films, and but they still should check it out. After you've seen the film, please come back here and let me know how you like it. And if you've already seen No Other Choice, feel free to fanboy in the comments. I hope you loved it as much as I did. Now, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you're interested in more movie reviews and recommendations. And if you feel like it, of course. Now, again, Merry Christmas to all of you, and I'll see you next time. Bye! God, the way I spelled loses is just an abomination. Hold up. Not loses, loses. Okay.